Hello and welcome to Talking Good Games match preview of West Ham United against Leeds United on Monday night, the final game of the game week this weekend. Gonzo, can I get your thoughts on Leeds, please?
Yeah, Leeds will be. I'm sure there'll be a few Leeds fans who'll be a little bit disappointed with how this season's panned out because they started possibly the first game was against Liverpool. That may be right, I may be wrong, but they looked really good. And they've continued to look good. But I think such was their start to the season. I wouldn't have blamed any Leeds fans for thinking, "Hello, we're going to do a Sheffield United," if you know what I mean, and as much as Sheffield United right up the top until lockdown and sort of contesting the top places. I felt that they probably would have bought into the belief because their manager has such an ethos. Bielsa is very, very good, and they probably thought that they could challenge for European football. It hasn't quite happened like that, but I hope that they're not disappointed because actually it has been an excellent season when you consider that they have just been promoted. It is an odd season because Leeds would have really benefited from a vociferous home support as well, which obviously they've been denied because it's very, very noisy up there as well. I think it's been a good season, Gio. I think, as I say, be disappointed, but it has been good.
Yeah, I think they've done really well, actually. I think there was a big expectation on them coming up. Out of the three promoted teams, seemed to be a lot more emphasis on how Leeds United were going to do than what Fulham and West Brom were going to do. They're a big club, that's why. They're a big, big club. They're a massive club. Like you said, big support as well. Bielsa's somewhat of a sort of, not a friend of the media, but the media love him because of his quotes that he gives them, the insight he's not a boring manager. There's a lot of stuff from Bielsa, that you sometimes say to me, you can interview him and get 3 articles out of him kind of thing. You get that with Bielsa. When we played him last time, they said, what are you going to do or something? He said, well, I'll just read out my 11. He read out the whole team. He said, that's what I'm going to do. Now what? And that's just unheard of. He's a big, big character. I think Leeds have had a really good season, actually. Entertaining football. They stuck to their ethos, the way they want to play football as well. I've enjoyed watching Leeds play. It doesn't always pay off. It means they're open at the back and concede a lot of goals. But I've also seen them go 3-4 goals down this season. Actually, they take it back to 3-2, 4-2 or something. And even at 3-4 goals down, they don't give up. They've still got the fight in them. They've still got the belief in them. Brilliant club. Really, really good club. Do you think, though, you were saying that their fans might be disappointed. I actually think this is the perfect situation for Leeds because they're not going to get relegated. They're not going to get European football. So already they know they're going to be playing a league next season, so they can already start planning ahead, whereas, 6 teams in the Premier League can't do that. Even we can't do that because we don't know what we're going to be doing next year in terms of competitions, but Leeds and Wolves, maybe 1 or 2, they know.
No, you're right. We don't know if we're going to be in the Champions League or the Europa. We don't know which one it's going to be. I think the big thing with them for that, in terms of planning, is Bielsa signing a new contract. I was gobsmacked. I didn't think he'd last the season. I really didn't. He doesn't really stay anywhere long, particularly, or so it seems. He is skittish, let's say. He is. He's prone to. I don't know if he's a tantrum, but he's not someone that sticks around somewhere for very long. I remember an interview with him last season where he wouldn't even confirm that he would be the manager if they got into the Premier League. So I thought at the start of the season when they did really well, I thought, yeah, okay, this is going well. Then they had their little dip, and I thought at that point, I wouldn't be surprised to see him go now. But for him to sign a new deal, I think that's really great for the club. And they will, however well they do this season, they will be better next season as well. Actually, I think sometimes it's better not to flatter to deceive. Like we'll use the Sheffield United. I know they're very, very different, obviously Yorkshire clubs, but obviously very different clubs in as much as the managers and the style of play and the club itself. But I think you're better off sometimes if you fly really high, you crash and burn quite quickly, So I think actually that bit of stability there, and then next season finish 2 or 3 places above where they have this season. I think they've got a lot going for them.
I know this might not sort of go along with the Bielsa as a manager, but I think if they did do even better this year, I think you find it difficult to justify replacing 1 or 2 of your first team. But a bit like Sheffield United. Sheffield United almost had that problem. How could Chris Wilder replace O'Connell or Egan or Basham in the back? How could you do that? They've been fantastic all season, one of the best defences. But individually, nobody else would really take I think some would take O'Connell, but Egan and Basham wouldn't get into many other Premier League sides. But because of the success, you've almost got to stick with them again. It is difficult to remove that. Whereas Bielsa, he's had an injury-stricken season. I think Leeds United's injuries have gone somewhat under the radar because there's bigger clubs perhaps with more injuries, and Newcastle's in a crisis with their current attacking situation and stuff. But whenever I watch Leeds, they've always got at least 2 injuries in the game. You know, Calvin Phillips has been out for a while. Rodrigo has been out for a little bit. Every time they come to play a game, there's someone that's been injured. They've got to change. When they played us last time, remember, they had a shortage of centre-backs. They didn't even have centre-backs on the go. They've always had players injured, and I just think it's gone a bit unrecognised. But actually, I think this season's perfect for them. They could start planning for the summer transfer window, deciding which players they want to go get them in, because some of their transfers have been a success. One guy in particular has been. We'll get on to him in a second. What's their aim for next season, though, Gonzo? Assuming they're going to be Premier League next year, is it just another season of stability, or can they start looking up a little bit more?
Well, I think they can look up. I mean, Leeds could really do with trying to win a cup. I mean, they can win any game on their day. When they play that flowing football, they can do whatever they want. I think Europe's a really big ask, because even I look at it now, and I think once we get past a couple of fixtures, I think we've actually got quite a favourable run in. There's not 12 games left. They don't look all fearsome, but yet I still look around the league and I think, Everton are good, aren't they? You know what I mean? And Tottenham are coming back. And you look at it and you think the top 8 in the Premier League are pretty damn good, Gio. It's really hard to break into that. I'm not saying they couldn't, and teams do flirt with it. Wolves pop up and have a little flirt with it for a while. Look at us, we're doing it now. It's hard to do, though. You've got to be really consistent over the season. But I think they can certainly try and get top half of the Premier League, cement themselves in there. They would do a lot. They could do a lot worse than looking at it as a points tally, actually, and actually turn around and say, right, okay, can we get 8 to 15 points more than we got last season? Actually, look at it that way. See where it takes you. You don't know, but they very much go for a cup. But they have to look up, and they will look up. Things will only get better. I'm sure they won't crash like we've seen a couple of them do.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think another season stability, going for the cups if possible, will do them. But also, I think because they've almost got a slight advantage with the fans not being back, because next season is almost their first season back in the Premier League for the fans. So actually, it's going to be like different for them, because usually when you come out the first year, it's almost like you're in a little bit of a party mode kind of thing. Well, that party mode feeling's still going to be there for the Leeds fans. They're going to want to get in and start celebrating that they're in the Premier League, but they've already been here for the whole year. I think Leeds have got a lot of things going in their favour going into next season already. Actually, I think they're a well-run club, well-established club. They've got some really good players on their hands. I think they've got some players that need upgrading in some positions. I think their left back, I think they need to sort left back out, but the foundations and the making of a good Premier League team's already there. Players you admire from them?
Well, obviously Calvin Phillips is their best player, but and I know one Leeds fan very well, although we've not discussed this season particularly. But there's somebody who I bump into, someone that works in a shop, and he's a big Leeds fan, and he was saying to me just the other day about Calvin Phillips that he hates it when Phillips is out, because the whole rest of the team moves around and defenders playing midfield, midfielders playing defenders and stuff like that. He says it upsets the balance of the whole team, which he didn't like. I've seen them play a couple of times. I think they thumped Southampton, and they were a little bit unlucky. I think Aston Villa might have beaten them 1-0 or something like that. But when I looked at, I saw the Southampton game, and I like this kid. Every time I've seen him play, it's Roberts. And I know he's not the star man or anything like that to pick out, but I just really like him. He looks a really neat and tidy footballer. Pass and move, low centre of gravity, and all, just good, really good, smooth player. I don't know much about Gio. I know they spent a lot on Rafinha. Bamford, let's be fair, I'm surprised he's done as well as he has. Didn't rate him. Thought he was a bit of a journeyman. Didn't really work out at Chelsea for him. Mental Middlesbrough possibly as well, didn't seem to work out. He seems to be a player that's had a lot of chances, but this season he's done really well. The only thing I would say about him really is he's I think he's playing in the right team for him, because they do create an awful lot of chances. I mean, I went back and just looked just before we started this up. I went back and looked at the stats for the Aston Villa game. Leeds created loads of chances, 70% possession as well. So I think that's great, because I do think he's got a miss or two in him, Bamford. Don't get me wrong, he's not He's not Harry Kane, put it that way, but he's done tremendously well, and he's a lot better than I thought he was.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Tyler Roberts. I think he's all right. I think he's one of those he's a really, really good championship player. He's just not quite good enough for a first 11 in the Premier League. I think there's been a couple of players at the start of the season I was really impressed with. Harrison and Click recently, not so impressed by either of those two. I think they've gone off the boil a little bit. I think Rafinha's been superb though. Every week I watch him, he's just getting better and better and better. They've got a match winner in there, and we know what it's like when you've got someone that actually can do nothing for 89 minutes of the game, but the 1 minute of the game he does something. Actually, he can get the goal. He can get you from 1 point to 3 points. He's got that ability about him. I love watching Rafinha play. Actually, he's a really exciting player. I think defensively they need a few upgrades. Luke Ayling's impressed me a little bit, but their centre backs have always been a bit so-so. Their left back, they don't really have one. Stuart Dallas is unfortunately can play everywhere and does get played everywhere. Left back, right back, centre mid, he's everywhere. But the keeper, I think is very underrated. I think he's only 20 years old as well, and I think he's fantastic. Whenever I watched him, he's always pulling off good saves. He's tall. He's like. He reminds me of Nick Pope a lot for the reason that he keeps coming and catching everything. But anyway, we'll stop bigging up Leeds United.
That's enough for them, I think, mate. Yeah, absolutely.
Right, before we move on to West Ham, if you would like to support the channel for £3.60 per month, you can become a patron. Head over to patreon.com/Hammers Chat and check out. For this video, we've got the opposition review where I take a look at the Leeds team, try and guess what Bielsa's going to do. It's the hardest one I've got all season, trying to guess Leeds United. The last fixture was alright, Gonzo, because he told me the 11. All I had to do was put them out into the shape. That was fine. He's not done it this time round, so I've sort of got to work it out. But we've also got the player ratings after the game as well, and Patreon podcast every week, so check it out. Go to patreon.com/Hammers Chat. The link is in the description. Now, goalkeeping update for West Ham. David Moyes had his press conference yesterday on Friday and said that Fabianski hadn't been training yet, but he should be alright for Monday. Randolph was struggling, and that was it. However, what David Moyes didn't realise was what the social media team didn't realise was David Moyes was going to do. So the social media team, half an hour before David Moyes' conference, put up a picture of Lucas Fabianski in training. And then David Moyes came out and said, "Oh, he's not been in training." Well, we've all seen him, Dave. Mate. He's there. Look, he's there. He's there. So David Moyes tried to keep his cards close to his chest, but someone at the social media team didn't realise that this was a ploy and put it up.
They're in trouble. Someone's in trouble, mate.
Yeah, brilliant. There's going to be a fight in there. The gloves are going to be off. Pun intended. Thank you. I'm having that one. Anyway, Gonzo. Formation.
Fabianski and Golding. Sorry. What was your question?
Formation though, back four or back five for this one?
I'm going with back four for this one, Geo. Yeah, absolutely, because we need to shoehorn an extra attacker in there, as good as Leeds are, and they will have lots of possession if given the opportunity. I feel it was right for Man City and it almost worked, but I feel it sends out the wrong signal, really, mate.
What's your back four looking like? Because I've got a feeling it's the same as mine.
Yeah, Soufal, Diop, Dawson and Aaron Cresswell.
Same as mine. Your midfield
is Souček and Declan Rice as the central what's-its. Now, I don't know, I'm not entirely sure what my formation is. It's a bit fluid, really, Geo, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm just trying to shoehorn some players in, really. So I think Fornals is probably playing central, but if that's the case, then Lingard is going to go wide, one of the places. But yeah, so Fornals will be in the midfield somewhere.
I think we might have the same 11 for the second week in a row. And David Moyes copied us in the last preview.
He likes to. He says he likes
to tune in, doesn't he? Take a few things. So far, David Moyes is happy with our back four and our midfield. I've also got Fornals in the centre midfield, of whatever you want to call it position I did against Spurs and Man City. But I thought he was excellent in there, and I think I'm not picking my front part of the team around Fornals, but I feel like Fornals has to play there because out in the wing he's just ineffective. He works hard, but that's it. And Leeds get their fullbacks up the pitch really high. Luke Ayling in particular bombs down that right hand side, so that gives you space. That gives you a lot of room out in the wide areas. So I've taken that into consideration. So my Jesse Lingard's to the right as well. So I think we've both got the same striker. So who's the guy on the left for you?
Sai Ben Rama.
That's what I've got. We've got the same 11 with Antonio up front.
Absolutely, yes, yeah.
Got the same team.
We might as well go home. That's it. Job done. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to stick your thumb. No, don't stick your. I was going to say, stick your thumb. I'm glad I didn't finish that sentence. Really.
Anyway, bringing in Ben Rama, you're bringing in Saeed.
I am. Look, space in behind, as we've discussed. You mentioned that he likes to swap things around. My mate in the shop says that the defence is a massive worry for him. So I think it's a really good opportunity to unleash Ben Rama in a formation that is going to suit him, and that's a formation for us. It's a little bit funny, really, because just before Lingard came in, Ben Rama was sort of almost playing as the number 10, if you like. He was playing centrally. That position, ironically enough, has not gone because of Lingard in this instance. It's gone because of Fornals, and that's fine, because if we are going to only play two centre halves, you want the extra solidity in central midfield. However, he does have a freedom. And Jesse Lingard will have a freedom as well. And I do feel it's quite important that we get quickly up the pitch and we actually drive at them and travel with the ball. We know Lingard will do it. We know Ben Rama will do it. And actually dribble at them and have some shots. And I think Ben Rama will do that, as obviously Lingard will as well.
I think Ben Rama was very good against Leeds at Ellen Road as well. I think that's another factor for me. I thought he was excellent against Leeds United in the reverse fixture. I thought we were excellent against Leeds United in the reverse fixture. But I would be bringing him in to try and exploit that space that Luke Ayling may leave when he ventures forward. It's hard because you want to put Jesse Lingard in the middle of the pitch a little bit, but I don't really want to see Fornals on the right, and then that would mean bringing in Bowen. And this is going to sound really harsh, but I wouldn't necessarily bring in Jared Bowen for this one either. I'd keep him out for another game or two more. So yeah, for me, the team almost picked itself. Actually, I found it quite easy to pick this one. I did it before, and you had my team written out. I thought, there we go, happy days. Is there a bit of pressure on us, Gonzo? We can go into this game in 9th.
Yeah, there is pressure on us. Actually, I think the fixtures have gone for us for a couple of weeks, and for the first time, maybe in just the last couple of games, the tide started to turn. However, the games in hand are more or less done now. So now we are looking at a league that is reflective, and there is a massive pressure on us actually now, because we've been up there for a long time. And the funny thing is, we're probably favourites for this, I'd imagine. Well, we bloody should be, with the bookies anyway. We haven't been obviously against Man City and stuff like that, so actually the pressure is on us to go and win this game, and I think we're expecting it. I think the media expected it as well. When I see people's predictions and Paul Merson and Graham Souness and this, that, the other was on the telly earlier, they've all got, West Ham down to win this one. You think, this is a bit, this is, it's strange territory for us, Gio, as West Ham fans. We're not used to going into games as favourites, not used to continually, and we do continually seem to be having now to win games to get back up to the Champions League positions, which is what this will be. It's going to be really, really interesting, mate. But yeah, there is a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of pressure on us as well, because Everton and Tottenham winning midweek was the two games that sort of really gave us a bit of pulled us down a bit, even though they never overtook us. It was Chelsea, Everton did overtake us. Chelsea overtook us as well. Liverpool are just behind us, but Tottenham are right behind them. So we need 3 points. This is a must-win game, really, because if we the results go against us again over Saturday and Sunday, we could find ourselves as low as 9th. I don't think we'll go that far, but I think it's feasible that we're going to go into this game maybe in 7th or 8th position with a win, bring us right back into 5th spot or something like that. However, failing to win against Leeds would almost be it would feel like a kick in the stomach, actually. A point here would feel like a defeat, actually, because you look at the table and there would suddenly be possibly 6th or 7th, and while it's still a really good season, we start to think, this isn't as fun anymore. It's more, I enjoy being 4th, actually. Yeah. Can I still dream of Champions League football? Well, of course you can. We're only a win away from going back into the top 4, and this is how tight it's going to be between now and probably the end of the season. That top 4 battle is probably going to the wire. Match day 38, I fully expect the European spots to be up for grabs. 1st, 2nd, 3rd might be decided, but I fully expect 4th, 5th and 6th to be ready to get shuffled about. So it's a huge game for us, and it's a different kind of pressure actually on us going into this one, because we're going to have to sit and watch all the other fixtures over the weekend as well. Some results will go against us. We're going to see our team dropping down a little bit. And, and for the first time in the last week or two, Gonzo, the players and now the manager has been speaking about Champions League football. Even Dave Moyes himself said, yes, that's the aim. Yeah. That's the aim now. Champions League football is the aim. He was referring to Cheltenham horse racing, which is very topical at the minute. But he was saying, sometimes an outsider comes through the pack and wins, and there's no reason we can't be that. But it's good to hear that is. We've always known that was our ambition behind closed doors. We'd always known that that's what he will be saying to players. But it's good to hear him say it publicly, put a little bit of pressure on the players, saying, no, we want Champions League football here. We want Champions League football, so therefore we're going to have to win on Monday. Anything else is just, it's not Champions League form, is it? You want top four, you're going to have to beat Leeds United at home. You're going to have to take care of these kind of fixtures, because it's kind of in our hands, kind of isn't, because of Everton's one game in hand. But what I will say is, while Everton and Spurs have picked up good results and stuff, I don't have fear over them as much as I should do. I look at them in the league, I think we are stronger. I think we're more organised. I think we're more consistent than them two, actually. And while they've had some big wins, I do look at it and think, I'm not that bothered by it. And Chelsea play Everton just before our game, which is obviously, one of them's going to miss out a little bit.
Absolutely.
One of them's above us, one of them, they might both be above us at the minute. But I just don't fear those teams. But there's pressure.
Yeah. It's a funny one. I've spent a lot of time looking at it over the last couple of days, and I've done the Predictor League a couple of times as well.
Where do we come?
I've done it 2 or 3 times. I've I'll tell you this. No, leave it with me. I need to do it one more time, Geo. I need to do it one more time because I don't want to.
Do you think we can milk a video of it?
Well, that's the whole point.
Because we kept doing last year. We kept doing the relegation one, didn't we? And we kept coming 17th and 16th. We're like, I think we'll be all right. My supercomputer says 17th. We're gonna survive.
And we did. I think the thing is, when I'm doing it, and when you're doing this stuff, I think I'm being overly harsh on West Ham. I'm not. I try and be realistic, and you're sort of aware that you might be marking other teams up, but look, Chelsea have got some tricky fixtures in the running. There's absolutely no doubt about it. And look, all I'm saying is, this is maybe the wrong video because it's the build-up. We get to 3 games to go, mate. You'd have to fancy us. You really would. Put it this way. I'm just trying to work out mathematically how many games we can lose. I think 2. I think we can lose 2. But anyway, there you go. I know what you meant. The trouble is with Everton and Tottenham, they're both coming into form, or they seem to be in form. However, I did think that both results were more slender than they would have liked. Do you know what I mean? Big game, mate. It's all in this game. It really is. Massive game. This one against Leeds.
The thing is, you talk about form. We are still in form. We've never been out of form, really. That's the thing. They are coming into it, but we've been in it from the word go. I think we've got 11 cup finals, and the first one was on Monday against Leeds, and I expect us to treat it like one. And I thought, arguably, one of our better performances this season was away to Leeds United. I thought we were brilliant. Are you feeling confident?
Yeah, weirdly, I am actually. I think we're. I can't believe I'm going to say it. I think we're a bit of a machine, really. Actually, I felt they got away with one a bit, Man City. I really did. As good as they are, I felt they got away with one. And I understand this can bite us on the arse, but otherwise I can't spend every preview not saying something in case it bites me on the arse. So I'll just say, look, Leeds are not as good as Man City. Rafinha, it looks a good player. I'll give you that, but we have so many of those good players to deal with, and if he plays on that left side, which he has done a couple of times, then he's going to be, who's going to be coming up against if he's played in the position up.
He'll be on the right. He'll be up against Creswell.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he cuts in on his left foot.
I think Southampton he played on the left. He played a bit on the left. I thought anyway, but well, that's a bit more awkward. He played against Cresswell last time we played them, but he was. I almost felt like he was coming into a little bit of form. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I digress. That's why we might see Fornells on the left then, if that's the case, backing up Cresswell. But they have got 1 or 2 good players. Man City had loads. We've got good players as well. I don't think, and this is the thing, I was going to say let them worry about us. I don't think he does. Bielsa doesn't worry about us. I don't think he's going to make any special provision for Antonio or Lingard or Benrahma or Souček. So bearing in mind, they're probably going to have as much freedom now as they probably will between now and the end of the season. Those players I just mentioned, I think we can score some goals, and I'm confident.
I know the saying is, someone's like sort of strength is also their weakness, and I think that very much is applied to Leeds United. I think their strength is their attacking football, but I think that's also their weakness. It means they're open. It means that you get the ball, you're half decent at counter-attacking, you will get chances against Leeds United. And I think I'm confident for this one as well. I fully expect a win on Monday. I expect a comfortable win, and like you said, things will bite us in the arse, but I'm very laid back about this game actually. I'm very meh. I fully expect to turn up, get the job done, professional, hard working. It might not be the most entertaining game from West Ham, but we're not in a position to entertain. Leeds United are in a position in the league that actually they can go out and try and win games 3-0 and stuff like that. We don't have that at the minute because of what we're playing for. We've got to do a bit of what Tottenham are currently doing, and what Chelsea are doing, which is grind out 1-0s if you can, because it's about results. It's cup final stuff. This is no longer about entertainment, but. We know they're dodgy at set pieces, Leeds United. It's our biggest strength. We went to Ellen Road and we were licking our lips at these set pieces. I still am. I think we've been a little bit hit and miss with them recently, but with Creswell on the pitch taking free kicks, possibly Benrahma. Lingard's been hovering over taking free kicks as well. And then in the box, we've still got Diop, who's been good in the air recently, arguably just as good as Dawson or Ogbonna in there. We'll have Dawson himself up there, Souček, who's probably sort of like due a goal at some point soon. Declan Rice has got his shooting boots on. Antonio's in the box scoring goals again. We're going to threaten them from set pieces. I'm looking forward to set pieces. I'm looking forward to counter-attacking football. I'm confident for this one, Gonzo. I am feeling good. I'm feeling confident. Can I get your score prediction?
3-0 West Ham.
Ho! Blimey, you are confident.
Yeah, I guess I am, aren't I? Yeah, I am confident. I think we can put a few goals past them actually.
I'm gonna say I've got the last two scores right, I'm feeling a bit of pressure in this one. See if I can go for...
There's no pressure. There's no good. It's good. It means you're going to get this one right.
I'm going between 2-0 and 3-1. I think it'll be a 2-goal margin in our favour. I'm going to say 3-1 West Ham. I think we'll concede. I'll say West Ham 3, Leeds 1. That's what I'll go for. Anyway, 8 o'clock kickoff, which means... I think it's 8 o'clock kickoff, which means we are live at 6:55. 6:55 on Monday, we will be live with our build-up show where I have a little chat. We will be looking at West Ham lineup, the Leeds lineup, getting a little bet on, hopefully giving someone the winnings. The last winner's got his money now. He's enjoying his 150 moolah. I wonder what he spent it on.
Ferrari.
Maybe I think in the terms and conditions going forward, the winner of the bet must inform us what he's spent the money on.
I'll spend it on us.
I paid the gas bill. Oh.
Can you imagine?
just
we want photographic evidence of you putting a 50p's in a meter.
Like that. Hopefully we can win some money on Monday anyway. We're going to do 2 bets because the previous winner, he won 170 and told us to keep 20, so we used 10 last week. We used 10 again on Monday, so we'll do 2 bets, 2 chances of giving away money, fingers crossed, but you can get a vibe of what we're going to go for of the preview.
Absolutely.
You can get a vibe. Anyway, Gonzo, I shall see you on Monday night.
Yeah, look forward to it.
If you enjoyed the preview, drop a like on it, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and if you don't mind supporting us out with £3.60 a month, check out our Patreon below. The link is in the description, patreon.com/Sandwich Chat.